Welcome back, and this is episode 10 of 10.
10
of Should We Have Watched That?
I'm Saraya.
And I'm Amanda.
And we watched the Circus show.
We sure did.
It's called Circus After Dark Nocturnal. It is a local bred performing group called Kinetica. It's gorgeous.
It is $45 and it's an hour long. Yeah, we've spoken about
46.
This.
She's got it reading.
My contacts in. It is $46, 60 minutes. We've already spoken as to why we believe that, you know, these circus shows are a bit more expensive.
Yes, but we will touch on it again in case you didn't hear our first episode.
Of Barbara.
Yeah, which is that there's a lot of insurance that needs to be looked after for each performer, as well as
audience members.
Yeah, like that you need to cover yourself as performers, and like, because if you drop, like, and you,
God forbid,
and you hurt yourself, that like you really need to have some kind of compensation. And so this insurance is expensive. We all know this. But
what's really good about this show, before we even get into the show, is that is $46, but they also do rush tickets.
They do, yeah. So if you are not sure what you want to do on a Friday or Saturday night, until the 17th, so essentially the end of Fringe, they do rush tickets for $25 on the day.
Oh, which is, I mean, look, the full price I think is worth it.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Let alone rush tickets.
Yeah.
So if you can get a rush ticket, then...
You're laughing.
Please. You're laughing.
But you do run the risk of not getting a ticket, considering how...
packed it was.
There was a lot of people. Like, it's not a small venue. Yeah. This was in the... You go up to the vault at the Pleasure Garden.
Yeah.
Which looks like a bit like an igloo, and... I'm just letting you know so you can find it easy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has a huge amount of space. It has a huge amount of seats in it. I think
and we were 4 tickets.
4 ticket holders. I think there was at least 4 or 5 rows deep on each side.
Yeah.
Which it has 3 sides because it's kind of set up like a runway. They
sure used it as a runway.
Yeah,
at times.
they did. Gosh, can we? Let's can we start talking about like our host Carl?
Yeah, can we also just talk about the clean heat sizzle factor is very hot? Yeah. And it sure
was.
Sure is.
This is not a family friendly show. They do have other shows that are family friendly, and I would like to mention that early because they are very, very talented, dedicated circus performers that do have 2 other shows. One is mild and one is like slightly hot or something like that. So the mild show, which is called Too Outrageous, yeah.
Is it?
Too Outrageous. Okay. That one is family friendly. But getting back to the non-family friendly event that we saw,
it was hot.
It was hot. It was so hot.
It was very hot. As the clean heat sizzle factor would say.
How they opened the show was gorgeous. I loved... Oh, what was her name? Beck, I think. Beck was...
yeah.
That there's
the moon?
This gorgeous moon apparatus, just being hung in the center. Suspended. Great word.
Thank you.
And Beck, who was one of the creators of the circus troupe, and producers of the show, she was on that, and it was just stunning.
It was just such a well thought out show from beginning till end.
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely beautiful. And sexy and just engaging, captivating, like, all the way through. And our host was...
incredible. He didn't let the energy drop whatsoever.
So charismatic.
Yeah.
So charismatic.
Was really, was able to riff with a couple of audience members.
Who were drunk.
Yeah. Oh, there was one girl in particular that was drunk behind us who was just... She was loud. And the kind of drunk where you're like you're wavering on your seat when you have 2 mates next to you, but you do need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And she didn't. At one point she was like, "It's just so loud." Yeah, honey, that's the bass. And Carl made a couple of jokes at her expense, which I think the crowd appreciated because, like, when someone is making a bit of a ruckus, you do kind of get annoyed, and that joking nature kind of releases that tension you feel towards that person. He was really great. He was so good. And because he was our host and because he was so charismatic, I didn't think, and I think we have talked about this already, that he was going to be involved in the show.
No.
He was briefly, like, at the very start, the introduction, but he's involved in the show.
He is, and he was gorgeous.
Yeah, very sexy.
It was so funny that he got his, like, little loop thing on his pants stuck onto the moon. But he just riffed off it and improvised off it as well. I was like, I like you.
When something goes wrong and then the person on stage makes it seem like that, it still goes right. Yeah. It's great.
It's so good. The play goes wrong.
The play goes wrong!
That's so right.
Yeah. So we had a few specialised skills.
Oh, boy. Were they specialised? Were they specialised?
We had the Spider Queen.
Oh my god.
Contortionist turned, she also had some ropes that she played with. Most of the performers did become elevated at some point, which I loved after seeing Barbara and hearing Amanda talk about the shadows that were cast whenever anyone went up.
We were just pointing them out.
Yeah, because they were so pretty. Like, when Beck came back out, sorry, Spider Queen, and we'll come back to you. When Beck came out on her hoop, she made these shapes that, like, because she conformed so beautifully to the circle.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, like, those wooden ornaments that you can get for your, like, Christmas tree. That like, it makes me think very Nordic kind of thing. It usually has, like, a ballerina or something like that. It looked like that because of course there is a rope connected to this hula hoop thing, or hoop. Just so pretty. The shadows, gorgeous.
It was such a bloody impressive show.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, actually. It was just so incredible to watch these people do what they love, be so good at it, and have such, like, meticulous precision, because they were suspended in the air, and the movements were meticulous, but they were also very quick and aggressive. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I think at one point I had my hands up to my mouth because I was just like, if something goes wrong. But they were just precise.
Yeah.
Precise. And it was so impressive. There was going to be a moment where I literally bursted out laughing because was it the Spider Queen? Where she was in...
Oh, no. There was another contortionist later on who didn't get elevated at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was like the fairy one.
Yes. There was a girl that... So you're encouraged to whoop when you see something you like. And there were lots of moments, I want to say, that throughout the show where people didn't woo despite it being very impressive. And I think that's because we were just mouth agape staring like, oh my god, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
But there was a moment with this contortionist, not the Spider Queen, but somebody else, who she bent her foot back. And I was like, she was in a really impressive split already. And I was going, woo! And then she bent her foot.
And then Sass just, her mouth dropped.
And I went, wah!
And I just looked at Sass and I just bursted out laughing because I was like, what?
What was that noise?
Because Sass's hips could never, unfortunately.
No, I have the hips of a 90-year-old woman and...
She felt it.
I felt it.
She felt it when she did those moves.
Shit, man! So Spider Queen, flexibility,
on point,
amazing, and then also had a great ability with the ropes. I think she was a great introduction to what we were going to see. I don't remember who was next. We had 3 girls who came out often to, I think it was...
Ensemble?
Yeah, ensemble pieces, and I think that was cleverly done to allow the people backstage a little bit more time between performances, between sets. Yeah.
I think they were also the main people as well.
Oh no, they were, which
is very impressive because like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
a lot of pressure. Like, not even, I'm saying, like, in a performative way, but as somebody who, like, the physicality, the pressure from all of those physical movements. Oh, I am impressed.
Those three remind me same as our host, where I thought that they were just the ensemble crew. Like, they weren't going to have the specialized skill. They were, like, what they were doing was all they were going to do. Oh boy, where was I wrong?
Yeah, because, was it Josie?
Joey.
She was a part of the ensemble at the beginning. Gosh, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we're going to double back to costuming and stuff like that. But she had her own specialized moment on
Velvet ropes
and far out. Sorry. Like,
Joey.
Good God.
Joey, babe.
It was
wow.
Fucking impressive. Like, I don't know, she did this incredible, she was contorting and suspended in the air, and then she started spinning, and she got into a full speed spin out of
nowhere. It was like a slow, controlled spin when her leg, like when she was fully extended, parallel to the floor.
Yeah.
Then suddenly, her head was, like she was inverted, her head was towards the floor, her feet were caught in the velvet ropes, and she went off like a spinning top.
I'm obsessed.
So you're allowed to take videos and stuff of the show, and we were reviewing it post-show.
And I was telling Sass, okay, I'm going to post this one, and Sass just goes...
Helicopter.
Meme. It was. She was literally about to take flight.
Yeah.
Like, she would have probably been further up in the air from her spin instead of being in the ropes.
Yeah.
Like, it was so impressive.
She went so fast, and like, my making a joke about it isn't to say that it wasn't amazing. Like, it was amazing, but I think it's
because it was giving turbo engine.
Yeah, when you go that fast, goddamn, you are a helicopter. Helicopter.
Gosh, it was so impressive.
It was.
And same, I was equally impressed with, I'm not sure what her name is, but the pole dancer. Faye.
Because I was like, sounds like she's a fairy. But then it turns out it's F-A-Y. But that's okay. You can be called Faye like that.
It was very good.
Very good.
Oh, God.
This pole was not just a regular pole that is, like, attached to the ground, like we had in Barbaroy.
There's no stabilization.
No, so she, like, you could be in a spin that is, instead of just the pole spinning in its, like, central position being vertical, it went all which ways. Like,
God. It's... The core strength.
The
stabilizing muscles that you would have to use just to keep the pole in place, I imagine, while doing all of those tricks is just like...
amazing. Oh. Her body was incredible. Like, and I'm not meaning that in a, like, a sensual way. I'm meaning, like, she is strong.
Yeah.
She could easily participate in, I think, bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah. It's so impressive.
Like, she's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but she's so strong.
Like, yeah.
My God.
That
and
is
as someone
goals.
who wants to have abs, I would highly take her abs.
Yeah.
So pole dancing, we will go.
Faye, if you do lessons, hit us up.
Yeah.
Because we might have to do them.
Participate.
Might take us a few...
Our flexibility isn't there.
Decades to get there.
But really impressive, beautiful silhouette, like beautiful shapes. I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of this, was that just the shapes that they could create with their body. Incredible. And I loved the femininity that the guys had. Like, they were strong.
Oh my lord.
Strong men.
Everybody.
Like, oh yeah, all strong.
Wait, because don't want to just keep repeating ourselves, but yeah, strong.
You're strong.
Everyone.
And like, it's a saucy kind of show, so like, they show quite a lot of skin. And it just showcases how bloody strong every muscle is.
And they should be so proud of that.
They should be so proud of that.
I had
Guys,
that,
you look great.
I would do that too. If I had it.
If you have.
In a few decades, guys. I'll hit Faye up. We'll speak. We'll chat, Faye. We'll chat. Oh, yes. Production value. So this is why I also think it's so worth it. Because the costumes...
Oh. How many costumes did they have? My gosh.
The costumes were incredible. To begin with, they had these wolves.
Oh, the masks.
Right?
Oh! Forgot about them.
Yeah.
They were so good. Sorry.
And then, they had incredible masks. On top of the fact that they had multiple costume changes for each of their specialized sequences and stuff like that. Oh, that's a nice little phrase. Specialized sequences.
Oh, bit of alliteration.
Yeah. On top of all of that, and it was stunning. Like, the production value was so good.
The lighting also was so beautiful. Oh, the contortionist that I freaked out about with my
just in case you needed a repeat.
She had some strobe lighting, so if you are sensitive to that you will need to close your eyes for that particular event, part of the show, and they do warn you about it.
Yeah, which is good.
But I thought that was a really interesting, like a really clever way to make the contortions more interesting, because we'd already seen a lot of contortions, but then only being able to see her every so often, that was just, it was clever.
The sensory deprivation
was
it was giving Nocturnal. Was it? In the night, when you can only see when the moon shines on it.
In the middle of the night.
Guys, I don't mean to go into accents. I just randomly go into accents
We
sometimes.
are actors, I think.
I'm sorry.
How often have we done it already in the podcast? I think that...
Probably too many.
Yeah.
I'm just apologising about it now.
We're just apologetic. We live with two English people too, and we often go into like a really... what accent is it? Yorkshire.
I don't know. I just do.
It's some kind of English accent, and they recognise that we're not making fun of them. We did it before they moved in.
It's true. Okay, so that's a lot, guys. It's a lot, but it's so worthwhile, I would say. Favourite moment, Sass?
Oh, I have, I think, 3. Helicopter.
By Joey.
Joey, I mean, because there were moments at the start of her set where the timing was just a little bit off, as in, like, I could see that there was one point where she kind of giggled on stage because her foot missed she was trying to put her foot into the rope.
I remember that.
And I liked that she could still giggle at it instead of getting frustrated. That was really nice.
Which I think she got her, the other guy who was her partner in this sequence to try and help her out.
Which is, like, I love seeing people help people.
Bear in mind, she was in, like...
huge stilettos. I mean... Almost like they all were.
Yeah, and then to be suspended in that. Oh
my god.
Oh, and then there was sorry, I'm like...
You're jumping in, but that's alright.
Where she also put her head and then did the spin at the end of her sequence.
Yes.
I was like... Neck. Oh, my neck.
Amanda could never... She's got a wry neck, Amanda does.
My back. That's all I could think of, but it was equally very impressive.
It was very cool, but I love that like she just went so fast, and I just could not believe how quick she went. So that, and then was his name Carl?
The host?
Yeah,
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Carl's. I would say, like, so I looked him up. I looked up at the entire cast after the show, and he also does drag, but when he's not doing drag, he does boylesque. And I love that phrase. And he did do boylesque, and he was very, like, he was more saucy than I expected.
Oh, he had attitude.
He had such an attitude.
Ate that up. I ate it up. I ate it all up.
I love seeing when performers do that little, like, hand motion of like, come on, like, give me something to work with. Give me a little applause. Give me some energy.
Yeah.
And he did that, and it was just like people were already giving him energy, but he was just greedy. And I loved that. And then my last moment would be, I was going to say Sarah. That it wasn't Sarah. What was her name?
Rebecca?
Beck. Yeah.
Beck.
I'm not sure, but either one.
I think they said Rebecca, but...
Oh, I think on the Instagram it said Beck, which is why I'm saying Beck. But Rebecca, her on her moon, she's like, she looked ethereal.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful way to start the show, before it got dark. Like,
Yeah.
she was in this white, gauzy, gorgeous gown whilst being up on a moon.
And they didn't need to explain the story throughout it. There was no narrative or anything like that. It was just the theme of it. And I think the fact that the moon got brought in at the beginning just immediately set the environment, the tone of the show.
Yeah, the
And
darkness,
then the
the
wolves
depth.
came out.
And then just kind of like started loving on Carl. Like,
Yeah.
it was great. I loved it.
Okay.
Your favourite moment?
So definitely Joey's spin.
Joey.
I think that would have been everyone. Like, the crowd went wild for that.
Yeah.
Like, they loved it. I would say also Faye's.
Mm-hmm.
I was
dancing.
just so impressed by her strength. So impressed. Honestly, I was impressed by everyone's. I think I was just thinking pole dancing and then without that stability would be so difficult. Oh gosh, I honestly just really enjoyed it throughout the whole thing. I would obviously definitely say Carl's charisma as well, because he kept everyone's. I mean, I don't think he needed to, but
like
he was
a
just
host
a great
can make and break a show.
Yeah.
Like if the host is a let
or
down,
elevate it.
Yes,
I guess.
Yes.
Elevate or break.
Yeah.
Instead of because it was a good show,
Without him.
even if we took Carl out, but he did elevate it.
Yeah.
I just love that he was just asking the audience if they were horny.
Yes. And then like a couple of people whipped and he was like, "Great, 3 people are horny in the tent tonight."
Just so funny. He was great.
It was.
I think it was a very well thought out show.
It was
And-
beautifully coordinated. Like it was very clean.
Yeah, it was.
Despite it being hot,
yeah.
it was a clean show.
It was.
It didn't feel at all like jolty
No.
kind of thing. Yeah.
It was beautiful. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I would like to go again. So yeah, if you can get your pause on Rush tickets, that's a no-brainer, guys, honestly.
Yeah, they have 6 more shows. They're on every Friday, Saturday until the end of Fringe. Please go see them. They are incredible.
And they're local.
They are, and they're local.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, more than 5 stars.
Yeah.
I know it's only like we only have 5 stars to give, but I would give more than that.
Yeah.
Because
I was so impressed.
it was amazing, especially after like we'd seen a show previous to this one, and I'm silly. I couldn't find anything to frickin' eat, and I was
my
just
God.
angry, and so like I went into the show in a really kind of bad mood.
You did, yeah.
And they made me feel so good.
Yeah.
Not just like, I'm not saying horny, just like they made me feel good. It was like that moment I think that you talked about maybe with Barbara, where you came out and you felt a little bit like superhero-esque.
Yeah.
It felt like that. And that's
Yeah.
why like I had the confidence to be like helicopter, because it was like,
Yeah.
they elevated my mood.
They did.
It was a beautiful, beautiful show.
Yeah. And I think this would be a great one to see on the weekend as well, to get you, if you wanted to go out afterwards as well, because it puts you in such a good mood.
It is a really late show. It's
It is
10
a really
past
late
11.
show.
So, yeah, if you do have something that you want to, like, if you want to go clubbing afterwards, like, it's, I think, yeah.
It'll get you in the mood.
It will. And there was lots of, like, we saw Wednesday from our burlesque show there. Like, she'd come to see it. That was cool.
Yeah.
Seeing other performers,
Supporting
performers.
Yeah, 100%.
So, should we have watched that, Amanda?
Duh. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
watch it again.
Yeah.
100%. I think I want to also just watch it because I think Sass has previously mentioned that I kind of do a lot of the media stuff for Should We Have Watched That. So I was taking a lot of videos and stuff like that, and I just want to be present for the next one, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice because obviously I do get to rewatch the videos and it's like, oh my God.
Amazing.
And now I just want to go back and just eat it up again.
Yeah.
And I will. I will. What would you say your 3 words would be, Sass?
Oh. I want to say like heroic, just because of their strength. Like they are so strong. Saucy.
Yeah.
Is there a word for like? I don't know what the 3rd word would be. Like it's just amazement.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel big enough.
No.
But like awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Not just awesome, awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Godlike. I'll keep going until you say stop. What are your 3?
That was more than 3.
That was more.
Look, I want to say ate it up, but in hyphens.
Yes, alright.
Because I
Edible.
did. I gobbled it up. And
Just
I wanted more.
one word, turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
They won't get it.
They won't get it.
You'll have to listen to the podcast to get the write-up if you see gobble turkey in the 3 description words. I would say, oh God, it was so good. Jaw-dropping. Lots of hyphens in this one.
Yeah. Oh, can I alter one? I want to say supernatural.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah.
Um,
In theme and performance.
yeah. Okay, so ate it up.
Jaw dropping.
Jaw-dropping. Spicy
Yeah.
in all the best ways.
It was a great show.
It's the only way I'll ingest spiciness because I'm not a spicy food gal.
But spicy show gal, she be.
Yeah, and it was certainly that. Well, that kind of wraps up today's episode, guys. Thanks for listening.
I've been Soraya.
And I'm Amanda. And in the next one, we'll be watching
Dance After Death. This is a theatre and performance drama show. This is done by your local actor kids.
Sleeping Otis.
Sleeping Otis.
At the Heyman Theatre.
So tune in later and we'll talk about that.
Bye.
Bye!